Alright, haulers, hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. So, we have a massive project to work on today. We finished off that power plant last time. The big thing that we need to hit this time is we've got our new highway that's being built. And I've come up with a new system. So the way that we're actually doing the highway now is going to be we're going to have the main tier on top, which will be for travel and transport, vehicles, trains, whatever. And then there's a second tier that's a couple of blocks below it, down here, the whole way down, matched up. It ends there for now, but it will extend the whole way that way. In this underneath part, which will be kind of like a tunnel, we will have all of our materials transport. This specific highway will mostly end right here because, I mean, it will connect across, but I might have to expand it down the road to carry more materials because I don't know for sure what's off in that direction. But this highway right here, it's basically at the perfect height to where down on this end we've got like these, the stone, the iron on this side, which will all get brought down there to the smelters. There will be a separate stone production line. But this is basically the perfect height to where we can build a little extension right here that takes us that way, but we can go straight across this quarry, go straight over to that side, and have access to that side. And when this crosses over, we will have a port right here and a port over there, which will carry the materials up to the bottom tier of this highway, and so we will have access to 1, 2, and 3 more stone nodes that are in that spot. And let me double check my numbers here. So in total, we'll have access to 4 normal nodes and 1 impure node. So 120 times 4 and then 60 basically feeding in. And if we split this properly, with each constructor, each constructor takes in 45 and outputs 15. We can split it exactly so that there are 4 lines of 45. Actually, I think it's 3 lines of 45. And well, actually, let me see here. So, okay, so I stand corrected. We're going to have 6 lines in total of 45 per minute that we can split off of that. So, in total, we'll be making about 90 concrete per minute with those stone lines up and running, which is not too shabby. Obviously, down the road, this is all made so that it can be upgraded. You know, these can be changed, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I guess today's big task is going to be finishing up this spot, finishing up this, getting this whole thing operating, and I would like to get stone production at least started and all that stuff run. We also need to tear down the old highway. You can see over there, I've actually started laying it out. Part of that over there, this whole section potentially, is actually going to be converted in order to use it. So we'll have factory on that side for copper and for iron. I think actually what I'm going to end up doing is putting stone and copper on this side. We'll have the copper from the iron factory feed across over to this side because we've actually got copper over behind that rock too. So those will feed in there. All of copper production will move to this side, and then on the other side we'll have a whole set of iron production lines and stuff like that just on top of the smelters that we have there, and that way we can keep everything kind of consolidated and clean. But we've got a mess going on right now, so we definitely need to get cleaned up. And you can see I've actually started laying out some of this. So like this line here is basically hooked up and ready to go. We just need to finish the building. It's mostly a matter of just cleaning up the buildings, getting the lines run, and going from there. And that's just a lot of materials because we don't have everything automated yet. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into the build process and knock these out one at a time. Alright, so after playing around for a few minutes with some ideas, I've decided that instead of doing a 2-tier highway like I had originally planned, the tiers aren't quite high enough. If I was to do anything as of now, it would require me to raise up the top tier, and that means redoing the entire section, which I don't think I really want to do. So I think if I'm going to be smart, what I'm going to do is the whole bottom of this is going to be walled in. So the only man-made flat surface is going to be the top of all these structures, and then the bottom, so where the ground is going to be completely open. So inside each of these, the ground will be... Oops! Ooh, that was close. The ground itself will actually just be all natural like it is, and then that'll all be encased in walls and steel and stuff like that, instead of having actual floors underneath. I think that'll make the building a little easier, and I think overall it gives me way more space to work with and makes it easier. I think there are some areas like the factory floors that I'm going to have to set up floors for, but I think the actual mining operations and highways are going to be just open like this. So yeah, there's my quick update. I'm going to get back to building, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alright, so we've got the first big bottleneck done. Down here, we've got these two lines that come out up to here. The first two iron lines start down there. They run along the wall. I've used the wall conveyor holders for the first time ever. Those run down here, and that will all meet up. And then down here, we'll end up having 3 lines coming from the quarry, which will all converge with this one here. and turn into 4, which then get carried down the other side. I've decided that I want to use each side for a line for like, so this side is iron, that side's stone. And then I've placed down these in the center because I want to make this vehicle accessible. So I had originally put ramps here, like you guys saw, and decided instead just to extend this, and then I put this here as a ladder just so I can still access it from above, so I can still get in here. I might, if I really wanted to, I could make this like a T and put ramps further down there, but it's not really hugely important. If I need to access that machine, I can just get down to it. Well, actually, I guess, yeah, I can't access that machine. I can access down here. So I'll probably put ramps down there real quick just so I can access that. But basically, that comes out of here. Power will run underneath as well. But that way, vehicles will still fit height-wise underneath here. The major part here now on this section is to finish up down to the end where the quarry meets. And from there, it's going to be expanding into the quarry, getting the quarry done, and that will be this whole main section of conveyors and stuff hooked up. And then down at this end, finishing the highway, heading into this main area there, and finishing production on that side. Those are going to be the biggest things that we have to work on coming up. And I'm crossing my fingers I can get some help with that. I have a couple of friends that I'm hoping will jump in here and kind of help out. But so far we've been trying to get them in here, and it's been a bit of a pain, not to do with the game, but to do with scheduling on our parts. So don't go yelling at them like, hey, oh, you know, people aren't able to play multiplayer. It's not that. I mean, there are issues with multiplayer that they're aware of. But in this instance, it's more just not having scheduled time to where we meet up and we're able to do this stuff. So hopefully that will start to change. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. I think my goal for this episode is going to be just to finish down here where we've got this section and get it done, so that the next 2 episodes will be getting the quarry built and then finally getting all of this hooked up. And I would eventually here soon like to get not only the stone line finished, I would like to get all the stone done and get the plant over there going. I'm even considering putting the stone plant right here because we've kind of got a perfect spot for it here off to the side. Oops. And we could probably run stone lines back instead of running them down there. So we could probably place it right here in this field and we'll build out foundations. But let's jump on the rest of this, go from there.
Things I do to make you feel right, make you feel alright, and everything you wanna know, I'm telling you, spreading for so long, do you feel right, this is all I wanna know, are you telling me, that you'll be by my side, when I wake up at night. I'm telling you, I love the city lights, but you never look so bright. Oh, this is all I wanna know. Tell me you feel alright. Tell me you feel alright.
Alright, well, so we're back here at the massive build site for the new smelters and the iron production, all that stuff. And we're flying through. You see I've got stuff just scattered everywhere. Once this all gets cleaned up, it'll look so much better, but I keep flying through the reinforced plates, so I finally got around to it and set up an assembler. So now we have all of that being automatically made, because we've got plenty of plates and rods and stuff for whatever we need. But I keep going and running out of those, the reinforced plates on the Mark II conveyor belts. So hopefully this will start producing a bunch of those so that I can kind of let it run while I'm working and then come back and just collect a bunch. You can see though, it took a full minute for that, I believe. Yeah, it is. This is not a very fast machine. To really make anything crazy, you have to have just a ton of them. It's all about bulk when it comes to this game. To produce anything, like large amounts of anything, you just need to have a ton of mining and a ton of resources and just all that stuff. So hopefully that'll run in the background so that we can finish up everything else that we're working on over at site number 3. And I should clarify, we've got our home site. Site number 1 is this site here. Site number 2 was the coal factory, and site number 3, I believe, is over here. So it's kind of the designation I gave them. If I get any of them wrong, you guys always know whatever I'm pointing at is what I'm referring to. So like the hub, and then this plant, and then that plant over there. So I'm kind of spreading everything out. Oh, there it is. I haven't been playing straight, I should note that. However, I am going to get up and stretch here pretty quick. I have been doing that every about half an hour. If you do play games and it's something like this, get up and stretch. You know, it makes a huge difference. But back to what I was saying, I'm kind of trying to figure out names for each of these places, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know. But I guess we're just going to go ahead, we're going to get back to the build. And there we have it. This end down here is basically done. We've got the inputs ready to go for when we extend out over into the quarry, which we'll take a look at real quick. You can see one node there, and then we got the 2 nodes here. So we'll have this will go all the way across. There'll be a thing coming down for that, and then right on this side will be a little building to collect those and get those up here. So the inputs for that are done, and everything, it's actually worked out pretty well. This is all open for vehicles and stuff, so that we have kind of the main road above and the maintenance tunnel. Over here you can see the 2 inputs here. They're all hooked up, power and outputs. And those come out onto this side and run along the side over here. And here are the 3 inputs. I've raised that one up to get over the power lines, and it comes back down to go underneath the bridge here, which we use the ladder to get up onto, kind of the access bridge. I've considered putting another access down there, so I might do that because there's a lot more open space in that mining operation area. Over here we've got the stone operation to bring in one more line of stone, which runs in behind and then gets merged into the 4 lines here. And then the 2 additional lines of iron inside that building get added up here, merged into 4 out. So in total, we'll probably have those stone will all get produced here, so the 4 will come out here. All of the iron will get run back to the main factory over there, and then any stone or anything like that will come back over to this side. I think stone will be located here, attached to this main pathway here, and then over on the other side will be copper, and then all of that side will be iron. So we're going to have everything kind of in the same place with one major highway connecting it. I'm not sure how big we're going to have to expand all this to, but I assume eventually we're going to have to really extend this highway out as everything gets taller and as we add more lines. So we'll just have to see. I might just do it where we just have additional highways spreading out so that all the lines coming in are spread out as well. And then of course we also need to get over to the hub because we've got 3 iron lines over there that we need to set up. And once that highway over there is fully built, extended all the way out to the other end, there are 6 iron nodes that you can see designated with a beacon on the top of my screen that we have to get access to. So we still have 9 more iron nodes to get to, in addition to the 4, 6, 8 that we have on this side. So quite a bit of iron to work on, but we will need every last little bit of it for the massive mega factory I'm in the process of building. But that is going to go ahead. That's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't, you know what to do too. If you liked it even more, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you liked it extra, you can even hit the bell next to that subscribe button, which will notify you every single time I upload. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.